1932 German elections, focusing on the KDP party. So first off, we have who are the KDP. The KDP is a communist party founded by Rosa Luxemburg and Karl Liebknecht. It formed after the SPD became too moderate for the far-left members of the party, and they broke up in the 1919 revolution. They were popular amongst the poor working class, especially the factory workers in like bigger cities like Berlin or the rural, and they were not so popular with those out in the country and had very little reach there.
Next is, what is the KPD? The KPD is the largest communist party in Weimar Germany. It was the leading party of communism outside of the Soviet Union. Before 1924, revolution was the main goal of the party. After 1924, the main goal of the party was winning elections. The KPD wanted more benefits for workers, like better pay and safer working conditions. The KPD also wanted to create social programs in Germany. After 1924, winning elections in Germany became the main goal of the KPD. After the Nazi Party won the election in 1932, the KPD was outlawed.
The KDP formed in 1919 and sprouted from a failed Spartacist revolt of the same year. Spartacists were communists trying to replicate the Russian Revolution of 1917, led by Vladimir Lenin. And the Spartacists were led by Karl Liebknecht and Rosa Luxemburg. They were very popular in the industrial heartlands of Germany, for example, the Ruhr. They were extremely popular amongst the working class, as many workers flocked to them due to their promises of better working conditions and social programs for the working class. They were not, however, very popular amongst farmers since they had no reach for them, as we mentioned.
All right, so the KPD was fairly unpopular, and they never had a lot of votes in general. And this was because during the Golden Age, the citizens didn't really see a need for there to be extremism because they were already doing fairly well economically. And during the economic depression, they hadn't caught any attention because most attention was focused toward the other parties at the time. And eventually, not long after the elections of 1932, under the Nazi regime, the KPD had been dissolved and banned.
Our first voter profile was Martin. I do believe that they would support the KDP, as this person doesn't have a history of voting and the KDP does not believe in direct democracy like that. I believe it would appeal to him in that regard. They are also going to lose their job soon as they work as a shoemaker, but a larger factory is threatening to put their boss out of business. I believe they would also want to flock towards the KDP due to their promises of benefits for workers and smaller companies that would appeal to someone like Martin. The KDP also promises social programs for workers, such as Martin.
Our next voter profile is Gretel. She's a 45-year-old wife of a farmer in Bavaria that raised 8 children, is a devout Catholic, and hates Weimar culture. The KPD's ideals stand completely against this woman's. The KPD believes in great reforms and changes to society as it is. She does not want these ideals to be applied to her life. Most supporters of the KPD are young, non-religious people who work in industrialized areas and have no kids. She is quite the opposite of this profile, so it's clear that she would not vote for the KPD. And also, she also is a farmer, and farmers are not appealing to the KPD.
Our next voter profile is Wolfgang. Wolfgang is a 20-year-old university student and is considered for top of the class and son of a wealthy family. He resents his Jewish classmates and hold on to stories of Germany's greatness. We believe that he would not vote for the KDP as he is the son of a wealthy family and hasn't really experienced the struggles of the working class, along with being expected to run the family's business, and so probably won't agree with the views that workers should have rights and be fair pay and all that. He also clashes with the KDP's revolutionary ideas as he holds on that Germany is still a great nation and doesn't need that much change.
All right, and our final voter profile is Carl. Carl is a 29-year-old steel worker who had previously voted for the SPD, but had stopped due to feeling that the SPD wasn't getting anything done. And so we think it's likely that he would vote for the KPD because he works in an industry and he's already supportive of socialist ideas. And that KPD is more radical than the SPD, making it more likely that because he was disappointed in the SPD's amount of action, that a more radical party would be more of what he was looking for. It's also shown that he wouldn't vote for what would later become the Nazi Party because there were SA gangs in his community that obviously were causing disruption. And so he wouldn't actively want to vote into parties or people who are supportive of a party that were clearly disrupting his neighborhood and the peace in that.